Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Planet FPL Clash of the Correspondents. My name's James. My name's James. It's all this with Sudge all week. Let's do that as an outtake. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Planet FPL Clash of the Correspondents. My name really is still James, and on this COTC, we've got, I think, a really interesting one ahead of game week 12. Firstly, let me introduce you to our Brighton and Hove Albion correspondent. It's Sam Murray. Hey, Sam.
I'm good, thank you, James. Hope the listeners have had a good international break. I'm looking forward to this one as always.
Good stuff. They're ready to get ruined by Brighton assets in FPL, who might be quite interesting. And so too might Brentford assets. Let me introduce you to Tom Med. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Not bad at all.
Good stuff. Right, Sam, you've had two clean sheets in a row. This almost amounts to some form of consistency. Have you turned a corner?
We have looked better defensively in the last few weeks. We obviously went so long without keeping a clean sheet. We've kept two now. It feels like we've got them out of the way now, and we go back to our back to our old ways. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Kadioglu's come in. He's looked solid. Not that the Kuiper done much wrong, but he's helped us out defensively. And just a few of those chances we have been conceding. We don't concede many, but they do seem to be big chances. Verbruggen's kept them out. There was one later on against Leeds. There was a few against Palace. So it's nice. It's good to get a few clean sheets. We weren't creating much against Palace, but we look solid at the back. So good. Maybe we have turned a corner.
Yeah, it was better at Palace. At United, you didn't play well. It's almost disappointed I've been a long time having watched you. I didn't feel like you played well. You didn't retain possession well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there as a Verbruggen owner thinking, this lad's never kept me a clean sheet. But yeah, two in a row. And I'm going to wildcard next week. And I might end up keeping him, Sam, despite slating him all season.
Yeah, yeah. I think defensively, I'm never fully convinced. But 4.4 million, and obviously I'm wildcarding this week, so I've missed that sort of early window where everyone was sort of building up a bit of value. And I'm looking at my budget, and I'm struggling a little bit. That's where you can save a little bit of money. 4.4, it's not bad at all. I wouldn't expect huge returns, as you'd know, owning him all season. It hasn't been great, but having him in there with Dubravka, who can come in for a few games, yeah, I mean, I'm wildcarding, and him or Van Hecke will probably in there. Fixtures, price, it's decent. I don't mind it.
Yeah, this is it. When you look at some of your worst fixtures, because I think everybody wants Dubravka as the second keeper. You go to Liverpool, Dubravka's got Fulham at home. That's okay. You go to Arsenal, Dubravka's got Everton at home. That's okay. You go to City, Dubravka's got United at home. It's not so good, but it's still a home fixture. It's okay. And you got the Arsenal Liverpool fixtures reversed later on, sort of 29-31 if you end up holding on for that long. The worst it is other than that is sort of like Villa away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We've all been burnt by Verbruggen or a Brighton defender in the past. Yet every time it comes around, we have a good run, and I feel like I'm going to end up with one of the defenders or Verbruggen. Yeah, so I'm expecting pain, but you never know.
well, if you say that you're interested, Sam, then I'm interested as well because you normally kind of give it the bit of the cold shoulder on it. But yeah, I guess for those who are on wildcard now or next week, Verbruggen at 4.4 is decent, or Tom Med should. Kevin Kelleher at 4.5. Is he a better pick?
Probably not, but I mean, I've got both of them at the moment in my team, so yeah, it's been painful with both of them. No, I think if you like picking a goalkeeper that's just going to concede or a team that's going to concede, then pick a Brentford defender or goalkeeper at the moment. So yeah, um, it's not he's not the best at the moment. Sorry, he's doing fine, but defensively we've not been great. So yeah, I'd probably steer clear at the moment.
So you've got both the keepers for this
Yeah,
game at the weekend. Who are you
yeah.
starting?
Oh, Kelleher, yeah.
I say confident enough then.
Well, I can't pick for Bruggen over Kelleher against my own team. That'd just be,
Well, you can. Probability would say Brighton's more likely to keep a clean sheet than yourselves.
yeah, but that would be against everything I stand for, really, wouldn't it? If I
Yeah,
did
but
do it.
knowing
So,
you, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
You're also having a very good FPL season, Tom. Are you trying to sabotage yourself or?
I mean, yeah, it would be. It doesn't really work with how I back my team constantly for me to actually have a good season. So yeah, I thought I'd try and ruin it somehow.
Okay. Sam, how you generally feeling about Brighton at the moment?
It's it's decent. It's been a decent season. We're in that mid-table group where we expected to be at this stage, I think, and probably where we deserve to be. It's all so close though. We've got a couple of wins and we're back up there. Expectations are just so high right now, and we lose one game and you see Hertzler out. It's a bit draining. I think outsiders might be shocked about how often that debate comes up in the base. Obviously, some criticism is fair, but seeing the negativity just makes me support him more. I really like him. I think he's learning, and it's unfortunate for him that he's being compared constantly to De Zerbi and the greatest Brighton team in our history. He's not miles behind that. We don't control games like we did with De Zerbi, but football's changing, the league's changing. We're sort of in the middle for possession, for crosses, for long balls, but our style is pressing. We press high, we press from the front, we win it. I think we're top for possession one in the final third. I think I saw that earlier. Top for tackles. That's our style. It's why sometimes we've looked better without the ball, counter-attacking against teams that are happy to have it. When we do have it, Mitoma, Minteh, counter-attack's been really effective. Still struggling sometimes to break sides down. The Palace, a good example. I think we had near 60% possession and we just didn't create much. So I'm interested to see how we get on in the next few weeks. I feel like we've at this exact point last season, a little higher in the table with a similar run coming up. We had Brentford, West Ham, Fulham, that sort of run, and we went 8 without a win. So,
and they were all good fixtures.
Yeah. So it feels like a big run coming up now. We need to put a few wins together because last season we didn't, and we gave ourselves a little bit too much to do. Even though we picked up a few wins towards the end, it was just too far behind. So I think we've done all right. Now are we going to kick on, or are we kind of just going to fall back into mid-table again?
So are the frustrations as much about style as anything?
Yeah, I think so. It's just a bit different. We got used to playing and going into every game thinking we're going to win this. Like it was great with De Zerbi. Turned a bit sour, and then when you really look at the stats of, you look at the win percentages, all that sort of stuff, he's pretty much equal, and he's creating a side that is difficult to beat. I think, just maybe not as pretty as it was. But we do have a style. The style is there, and it's pressing and it's being aggressive. That's what he wants to do, and he's flexible with what he does. He does mix it up if it doesn't go well. It's got different ways of playing it, which De Zerbi had him. It's just a comparison. I think really, it's if we're not in that top 7, top 6, it's all of a sudden it's, well, why are we not there? Are we worse than we were 2 or 3 years ago? It's harsh sometimes. I like Hertzler.
Next 9 games: Brentford at home, Forest away, Villa and West Ham at home, Liverpool away, Sunderland at home, Arsenal away, West Ham away, Burnley at home. You could have the majority of the ball in 7 of those games. Is that a concern, therefore, then?
Yeah, from what we've seen before, yeah. I hope we've learned from what we've done previously, and we go into these games. And I think Leeds was a boost because they're the games we've been messing up in previous seasons. Last season, we home to Southampton, home to Ipswich, them sort of games, and we won 3-0, and it was comfortable. We kept a clean sheet. Not even sure what the possession was there. Probably quite 50-50, to be honest. But in these games, we're going to be having a lot of the ball. So yeah, I think it's just hoping we can do better than we have done previously. The Brentford game's big because if we have a lot of the ball and we struggle again, it just feels like it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah, and that would be off-putting for FPL managers. I'm almost hoping that you're losing a shit at the weekend. I go, no, I'm not having Verbruggen, actually, in a weird way. Tom, you're also 16 points from 11 games, but I guess feeling pretty positive about Keith Andrews' start.
Yeah, super positive. You obviously start the season, people are going well. You've employed the set piece coach, and I think obviously everyone knows all the stories. And I think it was put us right down with the relegation candidates. And yeah, I think people were even going, well, they're as good as gone. So yeah, great start. Really, I mean, the home form's been fantastic. Really, really good. And obviously, we spoke, back in correspondent week saying, it's really tough, some real tough games at home. And yeah, they've been pretty. I'm not going to say easy, but we've dispatched all the teams that we were expected to lose against, really. So I mean, yeah, Newcastle obviously most recently, I think everyone was expecting us to lose that one, and we were really great. They were particularly bad, so I think it's bit of six of one, half
But
dozen of the other.
you have to
But
take some credit from that, right? They were bad. Liverpool were bad against
yeah,
you. West
hmm
Ham, very different type of profile team, were horrendous against you at the
yeah,
London Stadium. That's
United as
got to be
well.
part down to you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, Man
definitely.
United at home.
Yeah, no, it was like all the performances at home have been really, really great. Like we've played really well. And obviously against teams, I think, yeah, expectation was, well, we're going to lose those games. And yeah, we've really, yeah, done fantastic against them, played good football. Not missing. I mean, obviously we'll get onto it at some point, but we're not missing Mbuma and Visser as people were expecting. Christian Norgard obviously left, and like Yo Yarmouk's come in and been unbelievable. I mean, he's fantastic, and I think everyone joked about Jordan Henderson coming into the club and sort of being an old man, and he's looked brilliant. Yeah, he's
Exactly what
been
you needed, though.
yeah,
Leadership coverage.
yeah, exactly. Surprisingly, he's a bit of an upgrade on Norgard because I mean he's got more experience in the Premier League. He's a bit of an older head, and he's playing really, really well. So yeah, he's fitted in perfectly. I think I said in correspondent week that I wasn't sure how many games he'd play and whether it'd be sort of like, by the end of the season, maybe 50% of the games he would have played. And I think he's played pretty much every game. So, and looked really good.
If someone said to you, Tom, what's different from with Keith Andrews to Thomas Frank, what would you say?
Um, not a huge amount really. It's sort of almost like Thomas Frank Marks
Is
too,
that
a little bit.
almost a win here, though?
But
That
yeah,
it's
definitely.
like more of the same. He's not tried to rip it up in any way.
I think he, I think the slight difference is well, I think Frank would look at it. What Frank became towards the end of the final season was slightly more attacking, slightly more fluid. Obviously, when we first came up, it was stick 10 men behind the ball and defensive counter-attacking football. It hasn't seemed as much like that. It seemed more progressive from what it was towards the end of Thomas Frank's reign. So, which I mean, that's the part that Keith Andrews was in for. So he was only joined sort of the last 12 months anyway, and it does seem a little bit continuation of that rather than rip it up and change it. So, which yeah, is really good. I think what we've seen a couple of times is he's gone to a back sort of three or five against in the games where we're expected to do slightly worse, and you've actually seen I think in the sort of games since then it's not really worked that well, and he's sort of gone back to this 4-2-3-1 and sort of stuck with it now. So I think I was expecting it against Liverpool. I mean, we did against Man City, lost, and didn't do badly against them, but sort of which against Man City they're playing good football. And then it came to the Liverpool game, I was expecting us to go back to a back five again, and no, he didn't, just stuck with the back four and has stuck with it since. So yeah, it seems like he's found his particular formation, and then he's making little tweaks to that depending on who we're playing.
Okay. Is the away form a concern now?
Not massively. I mean, uh, the Sunderland game, sort of right at the start of the season, we were winning until sort of the last 10 minutes. And I think what was it, penalty? And I think we missed a penalty in that as well. So that, I mean, that wasn't huge. The Fulham game probably could have done a little bit better, and now seeing where they're doing, probably should have been better. And then trying to think if we which other one, who else have we lost to?
Forest opening day was bad.
That was really bad. But I mean, first game, it was. I think it's one of those where you got the first game, and it's sort of first game, new manager, new system, new players, get it out of the way. And I mean, the bounce back from that then to beat Villa was good. So no, I don't think it's hugely worrying. Um, I think it's just one of those where each particular game. I mean, what we lost to Palace, and Palace is obviously playing fantastically at the moment. Yeah, lost to Sunderland, but then you see where they are on the table. So, and it was in the last 10 minutes. And the other loss was, yeah, Man City and Fulham. So yeah, no, not that bad.
Okay. Thiago is clear penalty taker for you now. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, and don't give one to Kevin Schade again, please.
Okay. Sam, are we? Do we know or don't we know?
Probably Welbeck, but we don't know. Milner took the last one and scored. I think was it Milner? If he's on the pitch, he probably takes, but he hasn't been playing much recently. So an informed Welbeck probably on penalties.
Okay. Let's talk Welbeck versus Thiago. You're on wildcard, Sam. I guess one's going in.
Yeah, yeah, one of them will be in there. Right now, it's Thiago because we'll probably talk about Minteh a little bit later, but he's in there, and maybe it's in the back of my mind about doubling up. I really don't think there's much between Welbeck and Thiago, to be honest. Sitting on the fence there completely. Welbeck's been, I mean, it's been a bit of a roller coaster season. I think he was sort of one of my picks in pre-season, got a knock, and then Jorginho started at number 9, so we didn't think his minutes were there. Some of those first games of the season at Everton away was really bad. Barely touched it against Bournemouth, and I think the last time I was on the podcast, I said something like, I'll be happy with him if he was just getting 30 minutes off the bench. And since then, obviously, he's been linked with the England squad and scored a load of goals, so I was completely wrong. But sometimes it just clicks for strikers, and he's now getting in the right areas again, and the goals are coming. Everything's going in: headers, free kicks, long range shots. Yeah, his all round play can still be a bit heavy, but he's a starter for now. He's scoring goals. Obviously, injuries and rotation maybe is another thing in the back of your mind. Got a few games coming up now. I think that the midweek game we've got coming up is at home though, and we've got another home game after that on the Sunday. So maybe reduce minutes, but I would expect him to start all of those. On Thiago right now.
I think there's a little bit of a theory that I've mentioned. Obviously, we're all getting transfers in game week 16. I think if you looked across the next 9, I'd say both of you pretty good overall if we're looking for a longer term. And I think if you're comparing the two players long term, you are drawn to Thiago because you can't look at a 9-10 week period and feel comfortable that Danny Welbeck's going to be available for all of that. But if you look at the next 4, it's free at home for you, Sam, and an away game at Forest. Whereas you've got this attractive fixture, Tom, at home to Burnley in 13, but it's away games at Brighton, Arsenal, Tottenham. Now, he might do well across that period, but it's probably not going to go off big. If one was to go off big, it's more likely to be Welbeck, isn't it, Tom? Just in the short term, the next 4.
Yeah, I guess Tottenham away at the moment is basically a home game, isn't it? Sorry, stick that one in.
Yeah, I'll be in your DMs after that.
No,
or
yeah,
probably
I mean,
not.
yeah, or maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, I mean the prime fixture there really is Burnley at home because I mean, as you mentioned, the away form's not been fantastic. I mean, Arsenal away is obviously going to be. You don't expect him to score in that game, but I mean, I guess we'll see how they get on without Gabriel in there. But again, you can't see it being affected that much, and their home defensive record is incredible. So yeah, I mean the games you've got Brighton, Burnley, and Spurs with Brighton and Spurs being at home, it's going to be tough. I don't see it being crazy. I mean, this week could be interesting with how many goals are going to be in this game. But yeah, and then I think the only real prime fixture then is Burnley, and then you're looking after that really at 16 after that.
Do you expect goals in this one then, Tom?
Yes, so I'd say so. I mean, especially, I mean, we can't keep the clean sheet. I was about to say Sam have to talk from defensively from his side, but we've kept 2 clean sheets this season. And the few of the goals we've let in have been a bit suspect. I'd be pretty confident that Brighton will score this weekend. Yeah, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we score as well. So I think there could be quite a few goals in it.
Am I right in saying, Sam, this was 0-0 last year?
Yeah, it's around Christmas, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I right in saying it was 3-3 the year before?
Yeah, I think I remember 3-3.
Last year, so I think we equalised, yeah.
That helps. We could get a mad one, we might not. There isn't any consistency. And obviously, look, managers have changed, obviously, over that period of time as well. Are you, Sam, therefore, with Thiago, are you in the long-term thinking? And how much is Minteh playing on your mind there in the, like, if you weren't going Minteh, do you think you go Welbeck short-term, knowing that you go to Liverpool in 16 and then Tom's team walk into Leeds at home, and you've just seen your team play well against Leeds, and know that that's then if you take the Welbeck path, that's going to look obvious with 5 free transfers in your hand in 16.
Yeah, yeah, it is that sort of that double up and Thiago for the long term. Yeah, it kind of depends on the rest of my team as well. If we've got the transfers coming up, so I'm putting a few punts in there, a few short-term plays. It could end up being Welbeck when I go for, like you said, the next 4 look great. I've seen a few free hit 13s flying around as well. So I mean, you could sort of miss out that away game and have 3 home games in a row. Technically, Brentford, Villa, and West Ham. That's great. Some great fixtures in there. Both still pretty low owned, I feel like, as well. So I don't mind it at all. I'll fight my corner with Minteh and probably the one of the defenders as well. But I think it's really close between Thiago and Welbeck, and yeah, a long term play for me, I think there.
It is. I think it does feel to everybody, oh, I'd really like Thiago at that valuation is the one I want long term. Have you got at the moment, Tom?
Yeah, I've got Thiago. Yeah, I think the benefit of having him is he's just got no competition. So I think with Sam saying, obviously, potentially there could be minutes reduced or anything like that. You just know he's going to play every game unless he gets injured. So there is no other alternative up there. So he will play and he'll be run into the ground.
And that's one of the reasons I like him more. I kept kind of poo-pooing it in pre-season, saying, I think you're going to buy someone to really compete against him, and you didn't specifically, right?
Yeah.
You spent it in other areas. So yeah, he does look really assured in minutes. The fact that he's done really well, I think, means that you don't deem it necessary to have to get someone in January
No,
to
definitely.
compete with
I
that.
think I think the cover's there anyway. So it's covering other areas, I think. So, if Thiago was to get injured, you just stick Kevin Schade up front and, Keno Spot plays on the left or I mean Carvalho's now out injured, but there's other options and other players that can play in the wing position that would then allow, Kevin Schade then to play up front.
Yeah, I mean, in any case, we've got 8 game weeks before we hit the transfer window. So
Yeah.
I don't think, in relation to Welbeck, Thiago, I don't think either of those things need thinking about at this moment. If you were on wildcard, Tom, and I'll save you from looking like a cock here, because you said to us off camera, I don't know when to use it. We know you're 8K at the moment, so
Yeah.
thanks. Well done for the humble
Thanks, mate.
brag. If you were on wildcard, which one do you think you would go for?
Yeah, no, I'd stick with Thiago. Um, I think I mean, I don't know. Again, it's me being biased again. I'm not really, and sometimes I've not thought about Welbeck until we've come on the call and started talking about it. And then when you talk about the fixtures, it does sound like a sort of enticing move. But I think you're assured of you're going to get 80, 90 minutes out of him every single game. He's going to play. Even in the games that we, say we go to Spurs and we lose, the chance of him scoring in that's still pretty high. And if we're
Yeah.
going to score goals,
But then that same
eight
week,
goals already.
Welbeck's got West Ham at home the same week. This is like kind of the point, right?
Yeah, I think I mean, we've scored in a lot of goals this season already, and he's already taken that sort of talismanic role, I guess, really. Where we had Mbeumo last year, Ivan Toney the year before, we just seem to have these players that just they are the source of goals, and he just seems to have taken that again. I mean, 8 goals already. I think he's second highest scorer in the league. Is that right? I think behind
I
obviously the
think that's
robot.
correct. Yeah. I mean, he's got the feel at the moment of a little bit like this season's Chris Wood.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
little bit.
It's just he just keeps popping up. Like, when you need him, there's only a couple of penalties in there as well. I mean, some
Well,
of the goals he scored are not great. If you look at his compilation of goals this season, they're scrappy.
I mean, Chris Wood wasn't putting goal of the season contenders out there last
True.
season. Sai, our Newcastle correspondent, was on this podcast last week. I
I
don't
heard.
know. Okay, that's good. He wasn't bitter about the way his team played against you in any
I think
way. He said, and I'll paraphrase, Thiago's a bit shit.
yeah.
What is he like? I've used Rondon as a kind of comparison, like this really decent, strong
Yeah,
hold-up
strong.
player who
I
very much stays within the width of the penalty area quite a lot.
sort of like a poor man's Ivan Toney. Um, but no, he's not. He holds the ball up really well, really strong. Yeah, I think for me, I mean, he was brought in to be Ivan Toney's replacement. I think he is sort of not quite as good as what we saw at Ivan Toney because he holds the ball up really well. He's super strong, um, pretty quick. He's pretty quick as well, and yeah, he's got quite a good finish on him. So yeah, I think that sort of sums him up.
Okay. just a quick one. Would you take Tony back in January?
Um,
Because there's lots of talk
I
of it. It's
know.
growing by the day that all Ollie Watkins and others aren't knocking down the door
Yeah.
for kind of Harry Kane's backup. Tony's out of sight, out of mind. Wants to come back, potentially prepared to take a wage cut.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Obviously, yeah. I think that's. I don't know how he'd fit in the team at the moment because he's not getting in ahead of Thiago because he's playing so well. But no, I mean, it's always yeah. I mean, if he came back around, of course it'd be great.
Okay, Sam, why are you keen on Minteh?
I wanted him in my team for a while now. Sort of the one to watch for the season. The worries in August were minutes. We know what it's like with our attackers, but he's been our standout, complete standout. He's one of our best players. And yeah, he's not going to AFCON as well, which is big. If he's not in my wildcard team, I probably overthought it a little bit. He's just so dangerous constantly. He's only 21 as well. He can be inconsistent, sometimes unstoppable, but messy sometimes. I think against Palace, he was one of those where he was tripping over his feet a lot, scuffing shots. It wasn't his best work, but absolutely everything went through him. Like every time we got the ball, it was look for Minteh. So in that aspect, I think with hopefully Mitoma back soon,
That will help because
Yeah.
he's such a focus, not just for you on the ball, but teams are not letting him have 1v1s. If you've got that dual threat
Yeah,
with Mitoma the other side, that will really help.
yeah. I think he'll the whole team will benefit from a little bit more balance, bit more variety there as well. Mitoma's got like one of those minor injuries that seems to go on for ages.
Dragging, yeah.
Hopefully he's back soon, but he keeps sort of picking up these knocks. So yeah, not sure what the latest is on that. But yeah, Minteh's been our main outlet this season, and sometimes he will frustrate. You'll watch him on Super Sunday. He'll be in your team. And you'll think, how has he not got a return here? He looks so lively, but it's what I like, and he's not that expensive, so I think he'll be in there for me.
No, he's not, but it's also not far to go up to Rice's and Enzo Fernandez and Ismail Assar's. It's not a big way to go up.
Mm. Yeah, it's probably why I'm doing so bad this season. He's exciting. I get that though. I think there's quite a few good midfielders in there. Type of player though, he'll get a couple of goals. His price will fly because yeah, we've had this before with Brighton attackers, but I think he's the one out of that group, and yeah, I wanted him for a while, so I'll probably go that way.
We've done Welbeck versus Thiago. Tom, what about Minteh versus Dango Ouattara? If you're saying this is the same price, if you're saying it feels like it's settled now, where most commonly it's going to be a back four, I think things like Arsenal away that might change, and we know he probably comes out the team. But I guess fancy managers, if they went for someone like him, would be looking maybe to leave him out and bench him in that sort of fixture anyway. What about Dango? Oh, Tom, that's disappointing, mate.
Yeah, no,
And unexpected. Almost feel like ending the podcast.
No, he's been he's been good. I mean, yeah, I just don't think the problem is if you're going to pick one or the other, you're going to go Thiago over him, and from a pricing point of view. But what is he? 5.5, 6.5?
He's 6.
He's 6, is he?
He's 6. Same as Minteh.
Yeah, I think you'd still rather go. I mean, Thiago's only what, 6.2, 3.
What's wrong with going both, Tom? Just leave the forwards out of this for a minute, all right? Sam's like, oh, I don't want Welbeck, I want Minteh. You're like, I don't want Ouattara, I got Thiago. We know you'd put 4 Brentford in if you could, mate.
I could. I'd rather go Kevin Schade if I was going to pick one of them, even though he's more expensive.
So you'd paid $1 million extra?
Yeah, I think I would.
Okay,
at the moment,
same question. Schade 7 million, Minteh 6 million.
I'd probably go Minteh then.
Okay.
The problem is he's if Schade was 6.5, then I'd be all over it. It's just that little bit too expensive compared to then obviously like you said, Ismail Assar's and Declan Rice's and CotC's.
So
it's just been.
We went through Sam's fixture in terms of what Brighton have got, and there's 2 ugly ones in there. Well, there's 3 actually. Liverpool away, Arsenal away, City away, running up to game week 21. For yourselves, it almost looks better if you look up to that period. You go to
Yeah.
Chelsea in 22, which is a stadium you've never won at, as you well know, Tom. Keith Andrews hasn't. Anyway, I'm sure Thomas Frank will stop winning there now. He's Tottenham manager. You've got the ugly game at Arsenal in 14. Otherwise, your fixtures are Brighton, Burnley, Tottenham, Leeds, Wolves, Bournemouth at home, Tottenham at home, Everton, Sunderland.
Yes. I've been messing around with it, and it's like one of those like me being me, I might shoehorn him in. Uh, it just feels a bit wrong when he's priced so high compared to, you know, the players now that are scoring points which are priced like, under him. It just seems a bit stupid. So um yeah, me with being completely biased, I probably will try and shoehorn him in, but I got to ruin my season somehow.
I'm
But
guessing you haven't got Schade or Ouattara at this moment.
no, I've still got Fabio Carvalho. Let's not talk about that. So um he's been on the bench since game week 1. So yeah.
That's why you're doing so well.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, it wasn't in lack of trying. Um, yeah, no, it's just it's just such a weird price point. I just don't think, I think there's going to be games where we do go to you're right, because if we do go to the games where those easy fixtures, we're going to play three up front, which is going to be Ouattara. I don't know, he just hasn't quite finished them off. He's either been like the assist of the assister or just not quite there yet. And I mean, now I've said that, he'll probably go and score two this weekend, but
I think Bashade, the reason he's not attracted much interest is the price. We
yeah,
spoke just from Minteh going up to
mm,
players in the 6-5 bracket, and there hasn't been huge justification to pay for Schade when you've got these guys at 6.5, like performing pretty
yeah,
well. I do think we'll hit game week 16 though, and then everyone's got 5 free transfers,
yeah,
and the two fixtures you've got immediately afterwards are Leeds and Wolves,
yeah,
and the questions are going to get fired about Schade and I think Ouattara. Thiago will be like a natural for people.
yeah.
Those two are going to get real attention, I think, mate.
And the problem is, it's going to be whoever's performing up until game week 16. It's going to be one or the other, I think. Um, but just both of them haven't quite hit any of the output yet. I think Sade's on 3 goals and assists. I think Atara's on 2 goals, 2 assists. It's just because Thiago's been such a focal point. I mean, that sort of output really isn't
But they've also
interesting.
not had a single game yet this season because soon your easier fixtures have been away.
Yeah,
You haven't really had a game yet this season where we go, oh, I think he'll haul in this one. And I know you've done well in these home games, but the expectation probably wouldn't have been there.
sure. But I guess then, if when we have done well in those games, they haven't picked up any of they aren't picking up the points there. So I mean,
So Schade scored against
yeah,
Newcastle,
obviously
scored
Schade
against
scored his.
Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't know. At the moment, I just don't think there's other players at different price points that just seem more interesting at the moment, which is, yeah, a bit weird to be saying on your podcast, because usually it's which one of the three am I picking.
So what are you
Um,
doing with Carvalho?
I put him in as a punt on game week 1, and because I thought he was
Blocking
going to.
yourself here, aren't you?
Well, no,
This is the danger,
in
legitimately.
in game week 1. Oh no, no, yeah, he's going out for someone like Potts or something next week. So, um, but yeah, no, no, definitely. I'm sure at some point I will have one of Schade or Ouattara, but at the moment I just can't pick between the two because the output at the moment just isn't quite there. So I'm just waiting for one of them to hit a bit of form, and they're not playing badly. They're playing pretty well. Just they're not playing well enough. They're not getting points, and that's obviously the aim of the game.
I think that's a harsh analysis.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, Utara's on just under 40 points from 7 starts and some restricted minutes so far this season.
Okay, yeah, yeah, true.
Charlie's got a way to go. I mean, Minteh's on 15. It's good from what Minteh's played so far. But I don't know. I think like Minteh and Ouattara, if the minutes were similar, probably return similar. I'd almost have a bit more trust in Ouattara to regularly return, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Atara's position is now a lot more stable going forward, because I think the formation is going to stick. You might see it maybe in like Arsenal, and then it might be like Tottenham away that we just go, let's just stick three at the back just because we want to get one over on our old friend. But yeah, I think the four at the back and is sticking. So therefore, Schade, Ouattara, and Thiago will be the front three in the majority of games going forward. It's just, I think I just want that confirmation with a few more games that that's going to stick. But I'm pretty confident it will now going
That's
forward.
fair enough. When you've played a back four,
Yeah,
Ouattara's minutes have been 83, 90, 74, 75, 90, 74, 90.
Mhm.
2 goals, 2 assists. All right, mate. I presume,
Yeah,
Sam, you will say Minteh over the two Brentford players.
yeah. I haven't given them maybe as much thought as I should have. Yeah, it's going to be Minter for me. There are just so many decent options. You can make a case for so many of the midfielders in that sort of price range. Loads of transfers flying about as well. Could get interesting.
Could a solution for Tom? How much money in the bank, Tom? Do you know?
1.7, I think.
Okay. Could a solution, Sam, for Tom be Diego Gomez?
I would say probably not. No.
God, it's good this, isn't it?
Sorry.
This is just like a theme with the correspondents all season, I swear. Just don't buy my players.
No, Gomez has done well. He's had a few good games in the cup earlier in the season. He scored 4 goals. Wasn't really doing it in the league, but has been pretty good recently. Couple of goals against Leeds. He's been sort of playing off that left hand side, so Mitoma's coming back in. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what his minutes look like. It's a classic, really. Does he then go into a more central role and start competing with Jorginho, or does he drop back a little bit deeper and sit next to a Belieber or a Yari? He could do a bit of everything. He's got that on his side. I don't think so for
I
me.
guess in Tom's situation, I mean, he's not getting anything out of Carvalho anyway, right? If he can afford to go up to Gomez at 4.9 as his eighth attacker, that's what he is. And if Tom's got a good vibe for him ahead of, say, West Ham at home, for example, I think he's going to play and wants to play. He can, right?
Yeah,
And I think that's what
yeah,
people are looking at with him a little bit at the moment.
yeah. It's the minutes again though with Matoma. I don't mind it. We've got a few options now. We've got Weaver as well at 4.9, who is quite an interesting one as well. No, he's playing at right back, but
It's Mr. Defcon.
yeah, listed as a midfielder, racks up the DEFCONs, got 2 or 3 assists this season. Yeah, he's been good recently as well. I don't love him at right back.
He's
His
another one, though. Like Veltman is a threat there, right?
That's
It's
it.
the same
Yeah,
thing, isn't it?
yeah. His numbers are good. One-on-ones can make me a bit nervous, and Veltman is better defensively, and he's obviously a very capable backup as well. Although not as technical as Weaver, which Hertzler does like. He likes the way he sort of drifts in and can play the ball around. Interesting at Selhurst Park when Veltman came on for Belieber, who went off. Weaver moved into central midfield. That was quite interesting. First time we've seen him in a central role. We signed him as a centre midfielder for 25 million, and it's the first time we've seen him there. So maybe that becomes more of a theme going forward. He's got that versatility, but yeah, fullback areas we've got a lot of options. So again, it's the minutes, but
If you're getting a DEFCON player at that value, he's 4.9. Almost feels like you might as well get Tom's boy, Yarmouk, at 5 million, who is similar and looks like he's going to play every game, Tom, right?
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. Yeah, I think there's been scary links with him going to like United and things like that already, which is yeah, hopefully not.
That's
But
music Sam's ears. He thinks they're taking Baleba, so
yeah, hopefully I'd rather do that than take my boy at the moment. He's been phenomenal. So yeah, there's not going to be any attacking output on that one though. So it's not again. Wouldn't go with him, but yeah, he's been phenomenal.
So one of my big predictions in pre-season, Tom, was that when I wildcard in game week 13, which is the plan that still seems to be happening, I'd get there and set Den Berg at around about 4.3 would be all the rage. Now, first thing to say is he's still somehow at 4.5. That's probably how little interest there's been in
Yeah,
him. But the DEFCONs haven't been there in the way that we'd hoped, I think it's fair to say, isn't it?
yeah, no, nothing for really even Collins either. I mean, he's up at 4.9, I think, but Collins, Vandenberg, there's been very little from the DEFCON point of view. We've actually had quite a lot more possession than I thought we were going to have under Andrews. Um, so I think maybe it's not so we're just not getting as much as long balls into us or crosses or just haven't. I think Collins only hit a few 3 or 4 times and Vandenberg's only hit it twice, I think.
No attacking returns for either player yet this season either.
No, but no, well, no, it's just sort of. No, I don't know why. Because I mean the long throws are
Well, I
continually
mean,
coming in.
it gets launched in more now than I think it ever did. It feels like sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got a man who can throw it about 100 yards, it
We
seems. So,
we really like Coyote, by the way, mate. We really like him.
yeah, no, he's, yeah, just, he'll be gone soon, sadly, because he's just an absolute
I've said
talent.
that.
Yeah, that's quite sad. That's the only sad thing about watching him be so good every week is I just know he's going to go at some point.
Well, the thing is, as well, the donk throws is a weapon that so many teams are using at the moment. So it's not even just the ability to play again. He's got arguably the biggest launch in the league near
Yeah,
enough.
well,
It feels like at the
I
moment.
saw a crazy stat. I think we've scored 8 goals from long throws, and the next team that's I think it's in 2025, and then the next team below us, I think, is Palace, and they scored 4. So we're over double, which is a bit crazy.
But then that's why it's so surprising that Collins and Van den Berg haven't been around little bits.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean the one that's potentially interesting is watching on Aaron Hickey.
Go on then. He's
So I think
four.
so. Yeah. So none of them are interesting. If you wanted to punt one, go Coyote because it'd be fun. But it's a different world now with the DEFCON, so it's probably not going to do much. But Hickey, if I think he's going to play more at left back. He's played a couple of times at left back now. Rico Henry sort of. I think when he's come back, he's just not been quite there. Christopher Ayers played at left back, and then but the last couple of games, I think it's the last couple of games, Hickey's been back in the squad and playing left back, getting back up to fitness. And I think naturally, so when before we signed him, he was playing left back, came in, but he was utilised then as a right back because obviously Rico was playing so well. Um, but naturally, I think he prefers it on the left side. So with Coyote playing as well as Coyote's playing, Hickey is a fantastic player, and I think we're going to see Hickey play more on the left. And so it's one to watch because if he nails down that left back place at 4 million, just stick him in and play him against I don't know your Burnleys and
Yeah, I guess there's unlike your other guys, your Estevs and that type,
yeah.
there isn't DEFCONs there.
No, no.
You also are not assured of the minutes. Going into a period of the season where these guys might be needed more.
Yeah, yeah.
And it might be you go into a game, it's like, Timber's been rested versus Brentford. Oh, what have I got off the bench? Oh, Aaron Hickey away to Arsenal. But he's not starting either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
it could be like that. It
Yeah,
feels
no.
like at the moment. But I don't mind if people are going, if you're going with like combinations of Senesi,
Yeah,
Lacroix, even like Van Hecke at Sam's team, we'll speak about in a set. If you're going with these real ones that are going to play nearly every game, and you go, no, I fancy Hickey home to Burnley and Leeds. I want to play him. I'm going to stick him in.
yeah.
I don't mind it, but
Yeah.
it's an old school FPL pick, isn't it?
No, it is. And to
He'd
be
have been
honest,
like really popular like a couple of years ago, maybe.
yeah, definitely. I mean, and to be honest, we'll probably concede anyway, so it's not too big a deal.
You got any of them?
No, I've just got Kelleher.
If you were investing in one between all of those defenders,
Yeah.
which one?
Oh, I really want to say Coyote, but I just don't think. Yeah, you just go Vandenberg, the boring centre back pick, and he has picked up DEFCONs a few times. He's actually been more of the target man, I'd say, this year than Collins. It seems. I think he's got slightly higher. I mean, his XA and XG. I mean, is actually higher than Collins. So I'd probably go Vandenberg, just 4.5, and yeah, he's they're pretty similar, and so therefore, if you're going to go with one of them, you just stick with Vandenberg. I think because what we looked at last year was because Vandenberg played at right back a lot last year, if I remember rightly.
Yes, we
And
spoke
so,
about it in pre-season. We went watching because he'll
yeah,
be one
yeah,
hasn't shown on the DEFCON numbers.
exactly.
We think he will.
And I mean,
He hasn't really.
he's hit it a few times, and he's been there or thereabouts with Collins, I'd say. But yeah, neither of them are sort of flying off it with it.
So XG in the Premier League this season, FPL defenders, you know where he ranks Vandenberg?
No idea.
Fourth.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. That's well.
I'm trying to sell it here,
I
Tom.
mean, I'm not so.
The only players with higher XG, Calafiori. Remember Calafiori's goal at Old Trafford in day of the season was about 0.85 or
Yeah,
so. Jurien Timber had that one massive haul as well. Mickey van der Ven,
sure.
obviously, has got a number of goals this season.
Mhm.
And then Vandenberg, 1.73. And by the way, it's a massive drop off from Vandenberg down. Next highest, actually, is Cole Walker-Peters. And Cole
Yeah.
Walker-Peters pretty much scored on the goal line. You might remember the other week when he nicked the goal
Yeah.
off Jared Bowen. Then it's Michael Keane. Vandenberg's nearly double him for XG.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I think the problem. I mean, he's definitely. I mean, he's obviously a target when it comes to sort of corners and throws because he's just a big old bloke, isn't he? So, um, but I guess it's one of those with defenders. It's is XG really a good stat because that means he's missed those chances and he's going to get those chances because he's a defender at the end of the day. So,
All
um,
potential though. The problem is, I think if I put him in, he's not a player I could pick and go, I'll play him every week.
yeah,
And
no,
actually, the game's changed now where it's like, oh, okay, might knock me up a 15 pointer like once every 2 months. But in the meantime, is Joachim Anderson going to get DEFCON like 3 or 4 out of 5
yeah.
for the same price? And Fulham, not at this moment, but Fulham are going to come in some really good fixtures soon as well. I don't know. I really thought I'd want a Brentford defender at this point, Tom. I don't particularly, but I think he's the one. Is Van den Berg? I think.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I said it in the Slack channel, but I got quite a lot of questions this week about them, and to be honest, I've just told everyone not to bother. So, yeah, um,
Fantastic.
yeah, I've changed this season.
They won't be sharing this podcast with their friends because Tom said no, actually. Okay, Sam, Jan Paul van Hecke. Is that the Brighton standout one?
Yeah, he's the only one there really. 4.4 as well. Obviously, price has come down after the first sort of 6 weeks where we really struggled defensively. Yeah, he's the one. Out of the defenders, definitely. Probably slightly better DEFCONs than we expected to begin with. I think
It's
he's
been
averaging like
getting better.
9, 10-ish. Yeah, I think he's got a few 15, 16s in there, and then if also somewhere he's on 4 and doesn't really move off that. Yeah, it's been better than expected. He's a good option at that price. I've been struggling with defenders on my wild card, and I actually do have Van den Berg in there at the minute. You push me away with the DEFCONs, but you pull me back in with the XG. So we'll see where I end up. But like I said, I'll have one of Verbruggen or Van Hecke. I think. Yeah, there's not much. I don't know.
There's no
Defensively,
reason
I'm
to
not sure.
consider Kadioglu or De Kuiper again or Dunk instead.
No, Kadioglu has been really good. De Kuiper didn't do much wrong. He got injured against Bournemouth, and Kadioglu's come in and probably been our best player over that period. He pops up everywhere, not necessarily attacking, but just because he covers so much ground, works really hard. The type of player that can put in 90 minutes back to back. Good defensively, good on the ball. I feel like Hertzler really likes him.
He's busy,
Yeah,
isn't he? He always looks
yeah,
busy. Yeah.
maybe in previous seasons you punt on him for the odd assist that he might get, but he's not getting DEFCONs, is he? And Van Hecke at the same price is just safer. If you've got him in there, he's guaranteed minutes. You can have him on your bench and he'll play. And Dunk as well. He's been good recently as well, to be fair. But no reason to go for him, I don't think, over Van Hecke.
Is there a case to say that you could go Van Hecke and Van den Berg and play one or the other each week?
How do the fixtures rotate? How do they?
Very good. I think I want to say that you're paired as clubs as well, i.e. one of you's
Okay.
always at home. I'm just scanning
Yeah,
through and
no,
I think
Yeah,
you
I
are
think
paired.
so. Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, it's actually a
So,
good
I mean,
combination.
you could run through fixtures here if you went one or the two of them and picked between them each week. Brentford at home, Burnley at home, Villa at home, West Ham at home, Leeds at home, Sunderland at home or Wolves away, Bournemouth at home, Tottenham at home or West Ham away, Burnley at home, Sunderland at home, Bournemouth at home, Forest at home, Everton at home, Palace at home. It's not bad.
Two-pointer, two-pointer, two. No.
Probably. That's the problem. But there is a case for that, and I think that's something I'll be looking at as a possibility. Those would be the only two players in your defences I'd be looking at. Sam, for you though, Verbruggen or Van Hecke?
I think, well, Brugger's not getting the save points, and Van Hecke is getting the odd DEFCON. So Van Hecke is probably better, but I've got Verbruggen in there now. He's probably where I'll end up. But now if I'm going Van Hecke and Van den Berg, I definitely don't want Brighton double
Oh,
defence. So then
I've sold that to you, haven't I,
yeah,
Sam?
I've got to start thinking about
Yeah,
this
but you're
now.
gonna get straight off this podcast. And you're gonna go and look back at what goes well with the Brevcar. Oh shit,
Yeah,
it's Verbruggen again, isn't it?
yeah, or Kelleher, and I'm back to That's where I was.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
could. That's the thing as well. You could with Van Hecke, you could go as we've mentioned Verbruggen, Dubravka. You can do that with Estev or Twanzebe as well.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a few different combinations. Probably not much in it really, but yeah. Right now I'm on Verbruggen and Van den Berg.
Okay, Tom Kelleher versus Van den Berg.
Uh, Probably Kelleher. You know he can save a penalty, so yeah, you probably stick with him because you're not getting DEFCONs from him, are you, from Vandenberg.
Verbruggen's shite on pens, and he Sam. Or
Yeah, useless.
right, that's not helpful, is it? It's these random ones like Kelleher and Martinez and stuff. I'll just whack me out a 15 point now and again. How many Brighton do you think will be in the end of the week for you then, Sam, if you're on wild card?
It will be two. I'm pretty sure I'll have at least two. I'll have Minteh. I'll have one of those, Verbruggen or Van Hecke. Probably unlikely I add Welbeck in there as well. It could happen, but yeah, probably two.
And you think you'll take Thiago with you as well?
Yeah, I think that's the way I'll go.
Okay. Tom, I won't ask you if you was on wild card, how many Brentford, just tell me which three.
Uh, Thiago, probably Kelleher, and now you talk to probably go Ouattara just because it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's monitoring, I think. I really think game week 16, I'm just going to be pointing people your way, I think. And you'll be quite
Thanks.
excited
Cheers.
about it. Any Brighton do you think you'd go with at the moment, Tom?
Yeah, the more Sam's talks about it, the more I'm interested going into, to be honest. So yeah, have a look at that, and yeah, might throw him in.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you, gentlemen. Best of luck for the weekend. Guess the correct score prediction, Sam.
Oh, 2-1 Brighton.
Tom?
Let's go back to a 3-3. I think it could be a bit mad.
Well, I was going to play Verbruggen over Perry this week.
I mean, I've got Verbruggen and Kelleher, so I'm either way a bit buggered. So
in that could either way. In that case, you play Kelleher, you might get the penalty save.
penalty
right?
save, exactly.
Okay, fair enough. Gents, thank you both so much. Very best of luck. Deadline stream for you tomorrow on YouTube, 10 a.m. UK time. I've got two more Clash of Correspondents for you scheduled for next week. Tuesday, Tottenham Hotspur versus Fulham with Ricky Saunders and Lewis James. And on Wednesday, Aston Villa versus Wolves with Lee Jackson and Bradley Parker, which leaves me to say, Sam, Tom, thank you very much, gents. Good luck. Cue music, please, man. Sharp.